For the last decade, enterprise security relied on a single assumption. The network's perimeter was a secure boundary. If a user or device was inside these castle walls, they were implicitly trusted. That boundary cracked on June 18, 2026, with the discovery of FortiBleed, the largest enterprise firewall breach in internet history. The scale is unprecedented for a single infrastructure hit. Attackers harvested plain text credentials for nearly 74,000 Fortinet firewalls across 194 countries. They didn't write complex new code. Instead, they targeted organizations with exposed management panels still using factory default passwords. This effectively turned the first line of defense into an open door. Half of all internet-accessible FortiGate devices are now vulnerable to lateral movement, allowing threat actors to deploy ransomware or access critical infrastructure controls. The response from the security community is an immediate push for zero-trust architecture. It's a framework that removes the concept of a trusted internal network, requiring every user and every device to be verified for every single action. FortiBleed shows that even the most robust hardware is worthless if the administrative keys are left in the lock. When the perimeter can no longer be trusted, the entire strategy of network defense has to be rebuilt. That same suspicion is spilling over into global financial markets. Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh used his inaugural meeting to deliver a blunt, hawkish message. He committed the Fed to prioritizing price stability, signaling that interest rate cuts were no longer on the table for 2026. The impact on speculative assets was immediate. Bitcoin's price fell below its 200-week moving average, dropping towards $64,000 as the market's trust in easy, infinite liquidity evaporated. This sell-off highlights a growing divergence. Traditional equities rallied after signing the Iran peace deal, but crypto markets continued to slide, unable to find a floor. For investors, the narrative of digital gold is failing to hold up against high interest rates. Without the promise of cheap capital, the market is demanding hard economic data over speculative projections. This demand for verification is also hitting the social media and creator economy. Rodney Burton, widely known as Bitcoin Rodney, recently pleaded guilty in a Maryland federal court for his role in the Hyperfund Ponzi scheme, which defrauded investors of nearly $1.8 billion. Hyperfund claimed to generate a risk-free 1% daily return through crypto mining. In reality, no mining existed. The scheme survived only as long as new capital from fresh recruits could be siphoned upward to pay the earlier participants. The DOJ is now pursuing criminal charges against the promoters and influencers who peddled these schemes. This signals a regulatory shift where influencers face personal liability for the financial products they endorse. The era of the tech Wild West is closing. Regulators and audiences are now looking past social media hype, requiring verifiable proof of operations before committing any new capital. As these perimeter defenses and speculative bubbles fail, the tech industry's leaders are shifting their strategies, moving away from general consumer hype and towards specialized, verifiable value. OpenAI is adapting by pivoting away from the race for broad, general-purpose consumer chatbots. They are testing ChatGPT for Science, a B2B subscription tier that costs up to $2,000 a month. It's a move to monetize high-precision, verified data for researchers rather than chasing mass-market volume. We're seeing a similar evolution in gaming, where the focus is shifting toward player retention through loyalty rather than aggressive financial extraction. Rockstar Games recently reversed a long-standing policy, offering 2 million players on older consoles a free upgrade to the next-gen version of Grand Theft Auto V. It's a strategic move to secure their audience's trust ahead of the GTA 6 release. Capcom is also prioritizing authentic engagement over generic content, as seen with the introduction of the new Street Fighter 6 character, Yasmin. By utilizing meticulously researched Eskrima techniques, they are building rapport with the global fighting game community through cultural accuracy rather than surface-level tropes. These stories, from firewall leaks to Ponzi schemes, share a single lesson. Relying on default settings or influencer hype carries an increasing risk. In this landscape, security and value both depend on moving past implicit trust and into active, undeniable verification.